All right, well, good evening to all of you. Owen Fritzen here on a Wednesday afternoon. We do have a tornado warning and some plethora of severe thunderstorm warnings. So we are in a situation that is kind of a critical situation here with this tornado warning. Let's go ahead and zoom in right now. So we're just to the northeast of Columbus. So here's the tornado warning. And let me read the text for you from the National Weather Service. We'll start with that. The National Weather Service has a confirmed tornado that is located over Centerburg, or 11 miles southwest of Mount Union. That's moving east at 20 miles an hour. So again, this is a confirmed tornado that is on the ground, located near Centerburg, that is moving at about 20 miles an hour to the east. This has been reported by the Emergency Management Agency down in Knox County. And flying debris will be, let's look at the impact and include near Mount Vernon around 8:50 this evening is kind of the main city that they have there. So just to repeat here, the tornado has been confirmed on the ground, move into a basement or interior room. So with that, make sure you get to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So that's what we got going on. We do have a tornado warning on the ground. I didn't put it in the video description, and I'm not going to. So it's pretty self-explanatory here. So I apologize for that. But sometimes when you're live and volunteer, you don't have time to type all that. So looking at this, we are here in Knox County, again, just northeast of Columbus. Let's go ahead and zoom in here on radar, and let's take a look at what we got going on. So kind of looking at our base velocity, kind of looking here, getting ready to flip some things over. We kind of got some little bit of hail here as well. So let's go ahead and flip over to our base velocity, kind of looking where it would be here. And this is kind of it's kind of hard to see on this one. Let me see here. SRV is a little bit easier. So what we're looking at here is the tornado is going to be right in this generalized area, right where this triangle is, which means hail. So looking at this, kind of moving towards the northeast. This is storm relative velocity, so we're looking at the motion of the storm being subtracted out of that. So this is true velocity, basically, looking at which way the winds are spinning here. So right now, this looks pretty good as far as on that velocity. You kind of see this couplet. We'll zoom right in here for you, just to the north of State Route 657. And again, we're looking kind of behind. Radar always looks in the past. This has probably moved, and it's moving up towards U.S. State Route 36 and Route 3. So it is moving towards the southern portion here of Mount Vernon. So if you're in Mount Vernon or anywhere here, basically in Knox County, unless you're the extreme northern portion of Knox County, You need to make sure you're in your tornado safe shelter. You need to get down to the lowest level of your house and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and cover your neck and head. That's the most important part of this, is again, get to the lowest level and cover your neck and head. So we want to make sure everybody continues to be safe. So again, if you're in Mount Vernon, you have probably less than, I'd say 5 minutes, but you need to get to shelter. Beyond this, even if you're outside up towards Danville, I'll zoom out a little bit here for you. Looking kind of here in the northern portion of Knox County, if it holds together, it is traipsing towards communities like Danville, and we may be able to get over in the Miamisburg or Holmes County, again, if it holds together. We're under a slight risk of severe weather today, so there was a possibility of some tornadoes today. Kind of was looking at kind of a dull day here, not a lot in the way of severe weather, but this one went ahead and popped its little head out. It has just enough shear to get going, and it did. We were looking at some potentially shelf clouds earlier, and some potential heavier winds, but nothing made it to severe criteria. Very muggy, very sticky today, but we didn't quite get to what we needed to for all the ingredients here. But we do have just a little bit, and even this one's packing a little bit of punch with the wind. So even if there's not a tornado, but there is a tornado on the ground confirmed right now, but even on the outer bands of this, you probably are seeing some very, very strong winds. So you need to make sure, again, you are in the basement or the lowest level of your house. If you're in a trailer, you need to make sure you get out of that trailer into a tornado-safe shelter and make sure that you cover your neck and head. So once again, if you're joining us right now, we do have a tornado that has been confirmed by the Knox County Emergency Management Agency, and this is confirmed, and it was over Centerburg when it was reported, and right now it's getting ready to approach basically right where this triangle marker is. That's right where it's at. I'm looking here, and let me do something for you real quick, see if I can get this to work. Yeah, it's not really showing up here on kind of what we call our debris ball tracker. I'm looking at it off the screen, but if it's a very light tornado or a very small tornado, we may not be seeing that. But again, if you're in Mount Vernon, even Centerburg, you just got in on that action. You need to make sure, again, that you are in your tornado-safe shelter. Even you down in Martinsburg, they have included you here in this warning. And some of those have some really strong winds here on the southern band, so you need to make sure that you also are prepared for that. Even if it's not necessarily tornadic, you need to make sure that you are covering your neck and head. Let's go ahead and put this in radar real quick for you and kind of show you here the movement of the storm. It's loading up real quick, so give me 1 second here, and it'll load up for us. It's taking kind of an easterly turn, but it's also got a northerly, so northeast is kind of what we got. And depending on where it's at, it could skirt here the southern portion of Mount Vernon. So that's why there's kind of a wider swath on this as it expands out. It kind of gets wider because it's kind of taking an easterly turn going into possibly the northeast as well. So let me go ahead and give me 1 second here. As far as direction, if you're in this polygon, doesn't really matter. You need to get in the tornado-safe shelter. So give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off that hail marker, and I'm going to turn on some other things here. And give me 1 quick second. Go ahead and click on that. And so kind of looking at this, I'm going to look here at the text real quick of the warning. The warning's got this moving at, and they're saying Mount Vernon in the text. And I just am reading here. They don't have an updated text on this just yet. So I was just waiting. We're kind of waiting here. Usually the National Weather Service is starting to update this, and they haven't updated it just yet. So we're kind of waiting to see here on the updated movement of the storm. There's the latest scan that just came in. So it is moving it here towards the south. Let me drop this into storm relative velocity. So again, looking at it, we're still hovering right around here between 657 and 36. There is some light rotation over Mount Vernon, but the bulk of this was back here when it was reported over Centerburg. So let's go ahead and go ahead and draw a track on this. They got this currently moving 270 degrees, and we got it at 14 knots. So let's go ahead and put this into motion for us. It's moving basically east. 270, 14, 29. Okay, so they got it there. So looking at it right here, and boy, if that, I'm not even put it that fast. Back it down, should be right about here. Right there's the latest one. Okay, so kind of looking at that here. Let's go ahead and, I don't know why I didn't populate my cities. I apologize. It should have, but it didn't. So let's just do some generalized storm track. If you're on the southern part, you can kind of see where my cursor's at. You're on the southern part here. They're going to say they're going to give you about 10 more minutes in Mount Vernon. I wouldn't even call it that close. I think that's a little bit overdone depending on where you're at. You need to be in your tornado-safe shelter. Kind of in the outskirts of this, we're at about 9:30 if it holds together. Very slow-moving storm because they got it right now moving at about 14 knots, so not moving that fast. And it's kind of stayed a little bit stationary as we're looking at it here. Let me check something else out here for you, see if anything's coming in. I don't see anything on that here. No, it's not. So it's moving here. It's moving a little bit faster, and I had that at 20. I apologize. I misread that. We're in knots, so we're at 14 knots, so we're about 16 miles an hour. So it's a little bit sooner than that. So about I would say you got about 5 minutes in Mount Vernon, less than that. I wouldn't do it. I would just get in that tornado-safe shelter now. Based on this, we're still seeing here some rotation. And again, okay, here comes the updated, you just seen the Polygon update. Let me just read the updated warning text here. So the latest update here until 9:15. Now they have backed this off to radar indicated. Let's see. Okay, so we got 7 miles southwest of Mount Vernon. They still got this tracked at east at 20 miles an hour, so they upticked the speed just a little bit to 20. That's why it actually tracked at 20. I was wondering about that. So it did track at 20. So basically now, here's what we got going on with this. We have a tornado that has receded. Yes, there we go. And they've counted this back to radar indicated rotation. So if there's a little bit of good news on this, they still have a tornado warning that could potentially produce a tornado. They're still seeing enough rotation, and I'm showing you just the storm relative velocity, not even the base velocity on this. We're looking at storm relative velocity, which takes the motion of the storm out. And basically, right now, as it's moving forward, the good thing is they do not see a tornado any longer. So the EMA is not reporting a tornado any longer with this, but still, this storm has a capability of producing a tornado. So you need to get in that tornado-safe shelter, get to the lowest level of your house, cover your neck and head. So again, right now, it remains in effect. It's located 7 miles southwest of Mount Vernon. So we're looking at this spot right here. You can kind of see it touching. And let's go ahead and look at here at reflectivity. Just your reflectivity. Got a little bit of a darker hail core possibly there. Heavy rains, maybe some light hail. If I turn the hail marker back on, you're still seeing some small hail with that as well. And then if we look at our regular winds velocity, it's kind of hard to tell when you look at this view. Okay, kind of looking here at the inbound winds and the outbound winds. Very hard to tell. So this is why we use something else which takes the movement out of the storm, because the storm's not moving that quickly here, and winds are not even moving that fast. So it's very, very hard to tell. So we have the product called Storm Relative Velocity, which is phenomenal, which takes that motion out and kind of shows us very clearly where this storm is. Looking here also too at the correlation coefficient, I do not see any type of debris ball at this current time. Let me see if I can back this up here from when this was issued here and see if there was anything real quick. Not really seeing anything as far as debris goes, so I don't see any track of debris on this storm. But that is a good thing for us. But all right, so kind of recapping here a little bit. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking at lots of data here and analyzing some chat rooms and some of the things that are being told to me on the backside with everything. But as we kind of look at this overall, we do have a tornado warning. This is the latest tornado warning update for Knox County. So this warning continues until 9:15. It was issued there at 8:29. We just got the latest update here at 8:44. Again, 7 miles southwest of Mount Vernon, moving east at 20 miles an hour. So locations impacted include portions maybe there of Martinville, that is to the south here. So if I zoom back in just a little bit, Martinsburg will pop up on the map for you. And that's kind of what we're seeing there, kind of if it holds together at this point. Good thing is there was a confirmed tornado, and now that tornado is unconfirmed at the moment, and it's radar indicated as well. So let me, I'm going to look at one more thing real quick and see. Let me see here real quick. There is, I am getting some pictures here, and I don't have a way to share this one with you, but definitely a picture of a tornado, or I'm assuming a tornado. I can't really confirm there. Looking at our team chat, we got some people behind the scenes here with us. It looks like a tornado, a very weak one. I can't see the base, so I can't say it's a confirmed tornado on the ground or not, but definitely a funnel cloud if not. So with this too as well, we do have a new tornado warning here for Delaware and Union counties that has just came in. So let's go ahead and zoom out here. We're going to go over and see a new tornado warning for Delaware and Union counties just to the other side of this. So if you're joining us now here, we got one over here near Richwood, Delaware and Union counties. We do have a new tornado warning as well. So we're going to look at this. This one is not confirmed as either, so this is radar indicated. Not sure if any of my folks back on the team members can kind of repost that, repost the stream saying, hey, this is now another county, or update that for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. So kind of recapping here, we got now 2 tornado warnings. We had one that was confirmed on the ground, no longer confirmed on the ground, and now we have another tornado warning just issued here for portions of Union and Delaware County. So let's go ahead and flip over this one just a little bit, and I'm looking here real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in on this one, and let's see what we can see on just our base velocity product. Again, kind of hard to see based on everything. Let's go ahead and flip over to storm relative velocity, and here you go. Right over the area or town of Richwood, you can kind of see that potential tornado rotation. Radar indicated, so right now radar indicated. It is not on the ground, but radar indicated. So the National Weather Service out of Wilmington, there's going to be a new tornado warning that's coming out probably in a moment, because this is right on a bordering office. There it goes. So you're going to see another tornado warning come out here in just a second, and it's coming out right now for Marion County. And there you go. And the reason that you have this is a bordering neighboring office. So National Weather Service out of Wilmington covers here Union and Delaware County. National Weather Service out of Cleveland covers Marion County. So now this is why you see 2 polygons here on the screen. And this is what's going on. So State Route 23 here is now underneath this on the southern side in Marion County, so near Waldo. But right now, this potential tornado, is near Richwood, and it is, again, moving off here towards the east at 25 miles an hour. Don't want to take away from the other tornado warning. We got 2 tornado warnings here going on right now. So we have one here for our friends over in Mount Vernon and Knox County. And that one you can see kind of very clearly where that's going. Definitely still has some decent rotation here. The tornado warning on this one, I'll zoom out just a little bit and show you. The tornado warning on this one is going to be right here if there were to be any type of tornado or rotation. This one is weakened quite a bit, but at the same time, it still has the potential for some, and it is rotating, I should say, but it has weakened considerably over the last couple of scans as far as the winds go, but it is still rotating at this time. So let's go ahead and look here and zoom back in over the Richwood. So this potential tornado, I should say, not on the ground, not confirmed, right here near Richwood. And looking at this one, so the National Weather Service, again, has got this one, the southern one. I'm going to call this basically all one tornado warning because that's kind of what it is. But for Union and portions of Delaware and Marion County, basically looking at this one here, this one's moving east at 25 miles an hour. It's located over Richwood. And locations that it potentially could impact is Richwood, Ashley, Radnor, Essex, and Delaware State Park. And looking here with the Marion tornado warning, There is one for southern Marion County and portions of Morrow County. So if you're over here in Morrow County, it just clips here the extreme southwest portion of Morrow County. And basically, we're looking at moving east at 25 miles an hour. It is located right over near Richwood at this point and 12 miles southwest of Marion. And they got this one also moving directly east. So if you're in those areas, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter. They also have this one here. Let's see. They don't even put any communities impacted. They missed that. Cleveland missed that one. All right. So basically, Waldo, you can kind of see here, Waldo, Green Camp, Prospect, all in line here. So, and even some of the outskirts here of Marion, you're probably in on that if that's considered in the city of Marion. I'm not 100% sure on that. But even there, you're under this tornado warning. Now, looking at this, so I'll zoom out here a little bit. Sorry, I was zoomed in so close for you. I don't look over my left monitor, but there is the tornado is located, potential rotation, I should say, is located right over Richwood, and it just updated right now, and you kind of see it dissipated. So it kind of just went poof. And we'll see that today. We're in this slight risk category. We get just enough fuel to start spinning these storms, and then it goes away. So it's just one of those things that happen here for us. So let's go ahead here and look at the Mount Vernon storm real quick and zoom back in here. Give it 1 second. We'll get it to load up and kind of see that that rotation here down in Mount Vernon. Still looks fairly healthy for us. And let's go ahead and flip back over to our base velocity. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there, along with our reflectivity. They're kind of merging out and might be choking itself off just a little bit, which is a good sign for us here. And back over here towards Richwood, kind of see what's going on here. Kind of that inflow notch, and boy, that's even different. Doesn't necessarily match up exactly, but kind of hovering right there. It got real messy on this latest scan. And if I look at our base velocity over here, it really got messy. Turn it back over to SRV, and it'll be right in this area near Richwood. It's really broadened out here at this point. So kind of looking here, we got 2 tornado warnings. If you're just joining us, I'll flip back over to our base reflectivity, see how hard it's raining. Flip back over here to reflectivity. Kind of see here on these 2 tornado warnings, we'll kind of recap here what's going on. So if you're over in Knox County, this is now a regular tornado warning. Before it was confirmed, this tornado warning over here for Knox County goes until 9:15, and they still got some light rotation with this. The latest scan really has disjointed this, though, and it's becoming more of a linear threat, in my opinion. So I have to wait and see if this is allowed to be canceled, but right now it's still in effect. So if you're in portions of Mount Vernon or anywhere in this polygon, you need to seek shelter. Again, moving east at about 20 miles an hour in this one. It's probably picked up to 25 or so. But if this is moving very slowly, so it's only moving at 20 miles an hour. So it is kind of taking that easterly path now. So it could clip portions depending on where you're at south here of Mount Vernon, maybe in portions of southern Mount Vernon and northern Martinsburg. So looking here on the other tornado warning, kind of recapping this one for you just a little bit. If we look at this near Waldo and just coming out of Richwood, Richwood's out of the tornado warning. If you're in Prospect, that's where you're kind of under the gun. Portions of Waldo, you would be next, and as that crosses State Route 23. Even portions of Ashley can get in on this one. And Green Camp, you're still under the tornado warning, so you want to just respect the polygon, get in your tornado-safe shelter, but it looks like it's going to stay south, hopefully, of you as well, and as it continues to move here to the east at about 25 miles an hour. So we have 2 different tornado warnings, and again, what we have here is bordering offices. So we have tornado warning here for the northern warning, and that's out of Cleveland that's issued. And then the southern warning is out of Wilmington, so that's why the need there for 2 tornado warnings, because they're bordering offices. So they still continue both of these right now. The latest updates still continue these, and they keep it the same. They're keeping it east at 25 miles an hour. And so kind of looking at this, looking at some of the heavier rains and kind of zooming out here, this is one of those days where we're under the slight risk. And we haven't really seen the way of severe weather today. Even now, I have to state that the winds they're not that fast. We don't have a lot of fast winds or a lot of winds moving right now. These winds aren't moving very quickly at all. So if we kind of look here, kind of got 20 miles an hour. I mean, I'm probing these so you kind of see along your screen. 20-mile-an-hour winds, maybe a 30 in there. Even over here in Mount Vernon, 26, 25. Not moving very quickly at all. So what I mean by that, and that's so in terms of severe weather today, yeah, we haven't had a lot of wind, which usually causes our severe weather issues. These are very, very light as far as wind speeds go today. So rotation on these are going to be very weak, but albeit they are with just enough lift and just enough shear today, it is definitely possible to see some of these quick spin-up type tornadoes. Again, probably, and I would say they're very weak, which based on the pictures I saw there over Centerburg, it looked very weak. But that's kind of what we're seeing here today. And I would have say slight risk probably was the better chance. They did say tornadoes. They did mention tornadoes today. So that kind of matches on what's going on. The rest of us here, I'll kind of do a quick zoom out. The rest of us here looking here for the rest of Ohio, you're starting to see some scattered showers. Really not even a lot of lightning with this. There's a few strikes here and there, but a lot of scattered rain here today, and some of the areas are getting in on some flash flooding, which I don't have turned on the screen right now, but some of the areas are getting in on some flash flooding here as well. So, again, you need to continue to respect that polygon. So if you're in Mount Vernon, you still need to be in that tornado-safe place. The National Weather Service, or Knox County, I should say, has not given you the all clear. If I kind of turn it over to regular velocity, you kind of see where that rotation is. If I turn it over to our SRV, looking at it, you can kind of see a greater area of rotation. This is going to be directly south here of Mount Vernon, and it's getting ready to come up, and I'm not sure what state route that is, so I apologize. But getting ready to come up to State Route 13 over here, just south of 36. So if you're right in this area, this is where the area of rotation on the last scan is, making its way over to State Route 13 and 586. If it continues on this path, it looks like it's going to clip portion of the Martinsburg area, and just south of Mount Vernon right now. It looks like Mount Vernon hopefully stays out of this, but you're still under the warning. And Gambier, you're under a tornado warning as well. So you need to make sure that you seek shelter at this point. Again, so still there, still looking at rotation over Mount Vernon. This one over here is still there too, just outside of Richwood, just coming into Prospect. If you're seeing a tornado, it would be, let me actually turn on my telestration tool, sorry about that. So if you're seeing a tornado warning, seeing a tornado, it would be in this generalized area right here near Prospect. That's the one that prompted the tornado warning earlier. So that's what we got going on right now. So it's coming, if this holds together, kind of the easterly track on this one is going to be near Waldo. So you need to make sure, again, that you're seeking shelter as well in the town of Waldo. So let's go ahead and clear that off for you real quick. And I'll go ahead and zoom back out real quick and show you our regular velocity, looking kind of at the rain. Matching up there, we're seeing some very heavy rains going on within that rotation area. So if you're trying to find a tornado outside, probably not going to happen. It'll be rain wrapped, especially over here on this Union County one and Delaware and Marion County. Probably not going to see that one. Mount Vernon, maybe. You're kind of seeing some of these little phalanges or little inflow notches on this one. So if you're joining us again, make sure you respect the polygon. Make sure you get to your tornado safe shelter, cover your neck and head. That's what we try to do here. That's what it's all about. So kind of looking here where to go on a tornado, you need to make sure that you, again, the rule of thumb, get to the lowest level of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, cover your neck and head. Lowest level of your house may be a basement, maybe the first floor, put as many walls, again, between you and the outside as possible. You see videos, especially if tornadoes around here, we don't get a lot of high-strength tornadoes. Damage usually occurs, obviously, to the outer walls first, and you see the inner walls left over. So make sure that you get down to the lowest level of your house. Don't be outside. If you're in a mobile home, you'll need to seek shelter in the nearest safe space that you can or sturdy structure. Same thing with driving as well. Or now the actual guidance says if you're caught, get outside and get in the ditch. Used to say not do that, but now they're back to saying that. So they kind of move back and forth with that one. Do not take shelter under an underpass. That is not a good thing to do. So So make sure, again, please, if you do, you continue to make sure get to that lowest level of your house. That's that we continue to say that because it is so important, and it respect that polygon. So important. All right, back to it here. You kind of see here the tornado warnings running on the bottom of your screen. Also, some flash flood warnings also out there as well. So you're seeing some strong winds. We're right at sunset, so depending on how it looks, I think I saw a comment. I just briefly breezed a comment there, and you're seeing some crazy bright oranges. With the sunset time, wouldn't be surprised, depending on where you're at, it would be a very, very strange color right now because of that sunset time of what's going on. Now, Mount Vernon, this is interesting. Kind of looking here. Let's go ahead and zoom back into Mount Vernon. And you kind of see this like a donut hole, which is interesting. And let me go ahead and flip over to base velocity. Yeah, right where the tornado warnings lined up. You're kind of seeing this little donut hole going on. Let me see something here. I'm going to back out to SRV quick. Yeah. Take a look at this. So I want you to keep an eye on this. Let me go ahead and circle this. So if the tornado were to be happening, it'd be right in this area. Let's go ahead and flip back over to our reflectivity. And it's not going to match up exactly because the other scans are happening, but it got a little bit of a donut hole right here. So I'd be curious to see what that's about, but there is definitely some rotation going on right there as well. So make sure you keep an eye on that if you're in Knox County. Respect that polygon again. And it's moving very, very slowly. And this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes. Or tornado, I should say. It produced a tornado that is confirmed with the Emergency Management Agency down there in Mount Vernon or Knox County. So this one over here didn't have any confirmed tornadoes, but yet, albeit, still has some very dark purples. If I turn on the hail icon, give me a second to load that. You're seeing some light hail. I'm not sure that it loaded. There we go. Seeing some very small or light hail. Wouldn't be surprised in that storm as well. Probably raining very, very quickly, or really, really heavily, I should say. So again, that storm, kind of zooming back out here, that reflectivity, kind of sitting and still sitting right near Prospect. So it just keeps sitting there. It looks like it's back building almost to a point. I hate to use that word because that's not really what it is. But it's just sitting there. Just kind of sitting there, rotating, and moving very, very slowly today. But again, as I talked to you about earlier, and we look at the probing of this, the wind speeds, not that fast. Even in the rotation area, winds are 14 miles an hour, 3.5, 25. I mean, and this is, and we're looking fairly decent. We're probably looking at 7,000 or 8,000 feet in the atmosphere, but moving very slowly overall. The general storm movement also is moving very, very slowly. So we're kind of waiting to see what they do here in Knox County. This continues to me to, at one point it looked very disjointed, but over here in Knox County, I think we got enough to keep it going here. So if you're, again, just outside of this, just south of Mount Vernon, north of Martinsburg, you need to be in your tornado-safe shelter. And again, cover your neck and head and get to the lowest level of your house. So give me one quick second here. I'm going to look at reflectivity. I'm going to check one more thing, and I'm going to be silent here for just 1 second. So give me just one quick second, and I will be right back in just a moment. All right, sorry about that. Back for you here. I had to get a drink of water, actually, so that's what I was doing. No secret there. So kind of looking here, we still have the tornado warnings here. Nothing, and they haven't updated the one over here in Knox County. Last update was, I think, 8:40 something. So 9:40 something. Oh, they just popped an update here. I'm sorry. I apologize. 9:05. They didn't cut it back very much, but it still remains in effect here till 9:15, moving east at 20. And they're still saying Mount Vernon, Gambier, and Utica and Martinsburg locations impacted here. But again, it's sitting there kind of just spinning along on that. I've seen a little bit of an update here on the storm over here for portions of Union County. Union County was out of this now, so it's just for portions here of Delaware County, portions of extreme Morrow County here and Marion County. So kind of looking at this, we got this warning here, the northern and the southern one here go till 9:30. Current movement on it is east at 24 miles an hour. And the southern one again, actually the southern one goes till 9:15. I apologize. They got that one 9:15. They got the northern one here at 9:30. So that'll be interesting to see what happens on this one. If we go back to base velocity, kind of see it sitting. This is just kind of sitting there spinning. It hasn't moved much at all. I know we're getting a little bit of higher wind speeds. Tyler was telling me on the upper radar scans 40 plus, so they're getting a little bit of movement there in the taller tilts or higher portion of the atmosphere. But man, it's just kind of sitting there, not doing much. But still, we want to respect that polygon and getting your tornado safe shelter. So in just a moment, we'll hopefully see some decisions being made. We're coming up here to 10 past the hour, so we're getting ready to see, hey, are they going to continue these tornado warnings, or are they going to let them drop? Again, I'll kind of slide this back over so you can kind of see what's going on here in Mount Vernon. I keep seeing this over here in Mount Vernon, and I just keep wondering if we got it's kind of a with the fill there. I know that's kind of a misnomer. That is not really there. That is a fill issue. You can see that I have this filled. That is a fill. So technically that's a donut hole. What's going on there. So that's not really true on what's going on the reflectivity side, or the velocity side, I should say. Looking at SRV, I want to quickly look at that. Yeah, you can see it's definitely not filled, but this is just crossing over State Route 13. And if it continues on its easterly portion, it's going to go ahead and click on the northern portion of Martinsburg as well. As far as correlation coefficient goes, there is a little bit of an anomaly there, but I'm thinking probably more on the hail sector with that one. As far as right near Brandon, it's not strong, but it is weak, and that's a little bit concerning. But I know the Emergency Management Agency is been tracking this one fairly closely because it's not been moving that fast. So they have been able to keep up with it. Again, it's only moving about 20 miles an hour. It's kind of, I don't want to say stationary, but to a point, it's kind of been a little bit stationary. Probably seeing some good heavy rain with this as well. I know we got some flash flooding going on. Yeah, the latest update, they issued a new tornado warning for the rest of Knox County. So I believe there's a new tornado warning coming in right now. So they've extended this tornado warning, which they just did, cover portions of Danville. You can hear my phone going off. So now they just included the rest of Knox County here and portions of Danville. So I have to wait and see. Again, we're bumping up against a bordering county with another office, but right now they went ahead and basically reissued here the polygon for portions of Mount Vernon, Martinburg. Kind of see they've double boxed it, they've redrawn it right over top of each other. So this go ahead, and this has been extended now for us until about 10:15 on this one. So for Knox County, you're not out of it just yet. It's spinning and it's just sitting. So spinning and sitting. So you probably are going to hear sirens go off yet again in portion of the counties, maybe in Mount Vernon once again. There is a new tornado warning that has been issued for this tornado radar indicated rotation here, sitting just south of Mount Vernon and Danville. You're now in on that action. It is moving to pretty much to the east right now. That's kind of what we got going on here. I'm going to flip over here real quick and talk about the storm over here in Marion County and Delaware County. Albeit you could see some heavy rain and some small hail with this. Looking at our base velocity, it is still just sitting, kind of like the other one's doing. It's just sitting there and having some rotation there in the upper atmosphere. Let's go ahead and flip back over to velocity. This has broadened out quite a bit in the latest scan, which is a good sign. I'm not sure based on this scan whether they'll reissue this. The southern one goes for another 2 minutes. Down here, and this is in Wilmington's coverage area. This is out of the Cleveland area, the northern warning. This one goes until 10:30, and this one goes here until 9:15. So another 2 minutes on this one. So if they're going to reissue the warnings here for this one, especially on the southern flank of this, they need to be doing it here very, very quickly. And let's go ahead, and that's all right. That's sorry about that. I didn't clear the alert. All right, sorry about that. That was on my phone. Did not clear that alert for you. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. And over here in Mount Vernon, I keep looking over. I have another screen going on. I keep looking at both of these storms. This one is a lot more promising, and I hate to use that word, but a lot more promising here, just south of Mount Vernon. This has definitely got some stuff going on here. Definitely rotating, and I'm not sure. Waiting to see if we can get any updates. Maybe there's a possible, I'm not going to say funnel cloud, but wouldn't be surprised if you're seeing some sort of wall cloud or something in that area based on what we're seeing here on radar. Storm relative velocity is what I'm looking at here on this side, taking the motion out of the storm. This one is very weak, and I don't think they're going to reissue it. I could be wrong, but they are going to have to wait and see on this southern tornado warning to see if they reissue that. So, yeah, looking here, I'm just trying to see one other thing real quick. So kind of looking here, we got this tornado warning here for Marion County in the extreme portion of Morrow County. It clips just the southwest portion of Morrow County, just outside of Cardington. Right now, Cardington's not in the tornado warning, and but I just don't. Yeah, I don't think they're going to reissue it. The southern one you can see just dropped off your screen. I would imagine, and the rotations actually was in the southern polygon, still is. So I doubt that's going to be reissued based on what we're seeing at this point. So they do have, we do still again have this tornado warning again for portions of Marion County and Morrow County that goes until 10:30. So I don't think, I have to wait and see what Cleveland does. Yeah, Cleveland just dropped it as well. So what we have here, I was waiting for through that northern polygon was on until 10:30, and they go ahead and expired it early, just like they did here. This one expired on time in the southern portion. So we are tornado warning free over here for Marion, Morrow, and Delaware counties. All right, so that one officially expired over here in Marion, Morrow, and Delaware County. That one is tornado warning free. So over there in Morrow County, you're good to go. Marion County and Delaware County. But make sure you have a way to receive warnings, because we do have a little bit of spin going on here this evening. Continue to look in here, over here, reflectivity here for Mount Vernon. You kind of see this, and this is what I was talking about just a minute ago. I said 10:30, I meant 9:30. Somebody just pointed that out. Sorry about that. This is 10:15 on this one. Sorry, I am off by an hour. But I apologize for that. So looking here real quick, looking at the this one, we have a little bit of an inflow notch kind of here, and this is what I keep looking at. I keep looking over and staring at this. You can see this inflow notch right there, and it looks like it's trying to get going just again. And correlation coefficient, just pop something up there. So I'm curious to see here what's exactly going on there for Mount Vernon in Knox County. You kind of see right where that inflow notch is, and the generalized rotation is going to be right here. So yeah, that's interesting. It keeps, again, you can see it again. I'll circle it again. You kind of see every time now it kind of has dropped off the screen, and it's making a little bit more of a northerly turn on this tornado warning as well. So kind of looking here a little bit there, you can see that nice inflow notch as well. So if you're just joining us again, the tornado warning for Delaware County, Marion County, portions of Morrow County was allowed to expire early for portions of that warning at 9:30. Do I have any radar that shows debris in the air? I do, but I'm not going to show it because it's at this point there's nothing really to show. There's some anomalies there, but it's not noteworthy to show. We are taking a little bit of an easterly turn now on this one, a northeasterly turn. The latest update from the National Weather Service. See if they put an updated updated location turning. Yeah, they still got it going here. Let's see, location 269. All right, so yeah, it is actually taking a little bit of a turn, just a little bit here. So looks like it's taking more of just a northerly turn. So it's coming out, yeah. So a little bit of a northerly turn, just a little bit. So kind of looking at our compass, they got this, and just kind of remind you how these things work. National Weather Service gives it to us in degrees and which way it's coming from. So they got this coming out of again 269. So if we look at our compass, we know directly to the west would be 270. The opposite of that's 90. So they're saying it's coming from 269. So it's coming from this area, and it's generally moving. They're saying it is just to the touch of the north. Now, I can say over the last scan or two that has changed just a little bit, but still moving out of from 269 is what they got it at. That was 5 minutes ago. But it is taking a little bit of a northerly turn. So in my summation, the main areas of concern are going to be right here as this continues to push off to the east. And I should have drawn that just a little bit longer out ahead of that. But not to confuse you, if you're in the polygon, again, you need to get in the tornado safe shelter. Respect the polygon, get in that tornado safe shelter, protect your neck and head. Kind of zooming out here along the rest of the state, as you can see here, just some generalized line of storms now, with some lightning, some decent lightning, but not as heavy as lightning as we've seen before as far as lightning count, but some pretty good rains and some light hail across the rest of the area as well. Still see that inflow notch just south now to Mount Vernon. Let's go ahead and zoom in real close for you, crossing over 586. Latest scan just coming in, a little bit still there, but it is going. All right, and again, I do like that, respect that polygon. I can't take credit for that one. James Spann, can't take credit for that. Famous meteorologist. So looking kind of here, looking at some of that storm. I got it linear. Hold on. That's all right. I'll move it linear. That'll be all right. Kind of track it here. All right. All right, so kind of the way they got it moving at 24 right now. That's too fast. I'm backing that off to about 19. All right, so kind of looking here. Again, it's some reason I'm having some issues. It's not popping cities, but not sure. National Weather Service had some feed issues today as well. But kind of looking here just to the south of Danville. Got about, I'd say, 20 minutes or so, and I would agree with that estimate. Don't want to 100% go in there, but I would agree with that estimate as slow as this is moving. And outside of that, if it holds together, kind of got about 30 or 40 minutes on that, extremely over here towards Warsaw, but not 100% sold on that just yet, but it is moving just slowly, I can tell you. There's a lot of lead time on this one right now. So this one, and you can kind of tell, this one they went ahead and issued until 10:15. So 10:15 here is what they got the warning expiring on for this one. So that's a long time from now. You got to think about that. Usually we don't see tornado warnings. It was issued at 9:11. So you got to think about that. A tornado warning has been issued for an hour and 4 minutes over this area. That's pretty extensive. I could say that way. Usually we don't see tornado warnings last that long. So that's pretty impressive from its own right. Latest scan here, kind of looking here. Let's go ahead and look at the winds, and I'll just look here at our base winds. So what we're looking at, again, ignore these orangish, reddish ones. That is not true. That's a donut hole based on my settings here on my polygon. The area, again, that we'd be looking at is right here of rotation. So if we zoom right in there, you kind of see just crossed over 586, kind of this general area just south of Gambier. So you kind of see that there. It's lightened up quite a bit, and it continues to be more of a linear fashion now. So I'm not sure if this is getting ahead of itself. Kind of see it straightening out more of a linear fashion with this. So let's go ahead and zoom back out here real quick. And I'll take a look at storm relative velocity or even gate-to-gate shear. Yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted. Let me click back on that. Yeah, even gate to gate shear, that's even light. Let's take a look here. Base velocity wise, I just showed that. There we go. Storm relative velocity. Still there. Not as tight as it once was. The couplet's hardly there now. Before we had that inflow notch, and not there now. So I'd be very curious to see if there's any type of reports coming out of this area, because I could tell you, you sure got enough time to see it if it's there. Albeit, again, probably rain wrapped in this situation. I'm not really 100% sold this would be on the ground. And I know this one back towards Centerburg had a tornado warning on the ground by the Knox County Emergency Management Agency. So think about that. And that one was issued, that was issued quite a while ago. The first tornado warning on this, where were we? We were issued over Centerburg. Let's see. Let's take it back towards Centerburg. I'm looking at another software quick to see when this was issued. Yeah, let me look here. The first one that came out, let's take a look. Look at the original text. 8/29. So, all right, think about this one for just a second. Centerburg right here. So if we look at Centerburg, which basically where the original report came in back here in Centerburg, it's got to this point in an hour. That's how slow it's moving. So, I mean, the second warning came out about 9:15. It's been issued for an hour and 4 minutes. So definitely, that's how slow this is moving. This is taking an hour to move. So if I sound kind of like, I don't want to say bored with it, I have to kind of be honest and say, yeah, all right. But yeah, we do still need to respect the polygon. I don't know how many times I can say that, but I think most of you listening probably get it. But here kind of looking, and we're looking at what's called storm relative velocity, kind of looking a little bit of history with this here. Storm relative velocity shows us the movement of the storm with the motion taken out of it. On days like today where the storms are not moving as quick, we are able to kind of see, hey, where this is the true rotation, what's going on. What we're showing here is inbound winds moving towards the radar site, and I got Cleveland turned on right now, and if it moves over into the next county, I'll flip it over to Pittsburgh. But right now, if you look at this, you can kind of see inbound winds going towards the radar site, which are in green, and red are moving away from the radar site. And again, I just probed it a few minutes ago. We were only seeing at the lowest scan that we can see in radar, because radar's on a tilt. At the lowest scan that we were seeing, we were only seeing about 30, on average, I'd say about 30 mile an hour winds. So it's very, very weak. All right. They just updated the warning now. So they did trim some of extreme southern Knox County out of that warning. So that the latest warning just got updated. And let's take a look here at the movement of it. So they just gave us an update here, 9:25. Confirmed tornado. Okay, so now they're saying a confirmed tornado. They moved it back to confirmed. All right, so we got a little bit different. A weather spotter now. Sorry, and I missed that. It changed colors on your screen too, and I totally missed it. A confirmed tornado by a weather spotter. So to repeat, a tornado warning is on the ground. Move to the basement interior of your room. This again goes until 10:15. They got this moving east still at 20 miles an hour. And again, they still got it moving at 245. So, yeah, it is changing more of a directional pattern here. So this is taking a little bit more of a northerly turn. So it's moving a little bit on a northerly schedule here. Just let me see something here. All right. Yeah, so it is taking a little bit of a northerly turn. So just keep that in mind. So we have a confirmed tornado by a weather spotter now. So kind of right in this general area, and it's moving towards the north. They got this moving from 245. So if we kind of look here, kind of giving you a little bit of science behind it. If you look at a compass, all right, you know that directly east on a compass is 270 degrees. Or excuse me, directly west, is 270 degrees. So they got this one coming out about 245 degrees. this is which way it's coming from. So if we kind of look here, 245 degrees on the direction that it's moving, you can kind of see the correlation of that. So if we look at it, if you look at your compass, you would know on the actual degrees there, straight from 245 is 45 degrees, so northeast. They say east, but the degrees that they're mentioning is now northeast. That's kind of the movement, the latest movement that they have. So kind of confusing a little bit there that they wrote that, but it is moving to the east, northeast now. Not sure 100% why they didn't say that. But anyway, so kind of looking here for the southern portion of Danville. That's kind of where we're at, getting ready to cross over 229. Not 100% sure where the spotter had saw it. We're picking up here on rotation again. Once again, it's kind of intensifying here just a little bit to the south of 200 State Route 229. So I would, again, in portion of Martinsburg, you're still in it. I would, again, make sure you're respecting that polygon. Get in your tornado-safe shelter. Protect your neck and head. That's the most important thing to do. Again, you just don't know. It's dark now, basically, so the sun has set, and we are at this point of the night where it's rain-wrapped. If we turn back on a regular reflectivity view, I don't use reflectivity a lot, and maybe I should more, but this is just showing our precipitation. So if you kind of look at this, it'll be rain-wrapped, possibly, so you need to just respect that polygon. Get in your tornado-safe shelter. Cover your neck and head. That's the most important part about this. Tornadoes are something that, obviously happen at any time. If we look at nighttime tornadoes, yeah, if you're out ahead of this too, kind of put this graphic up on the screen. If you're out ahead of this, if you're over in Coshocton County or in portion of Holmes County, if you're needing to go to bed, make sure you have a way to receive warnings. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings. Make sure you have your shoes and flashlight ready or anything you need to go to get in your tornado safe shelter. That is important as well. So, and make sure you put the phone on the charger as well. Charge your devices if this is moving towards you. So yeah, make sure again that you continue to understand where to go during a tornado. Lowest level of your house, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Cover your neck and head. It's important to do that. Again, this is some weak rotation. I have to kind of have to state that. I can't say it's completely, I'm just looking here at regular velocity. Let's kind of look at this together. If I probe this out just a little bit, winds are, look at this. This is how fast the winds are going. Got a little bit going on down here in that southern tier. Always has been here just to the south, but even that 43 miles an hour is, still not that fast in this retrospect. 46 maybe, but still not that fast. And again, we're looking here. I think we're about, let's see here. I would say we're about 7,000 feet from the Earth. So as the radar is on a tilt, we're looking at 7,000 feet above the ground from this scan. So it's pretty far away. So it could be a little bit more intense than that. Kind of looking at the rain, definitely some intense rain. But that couplet isn't there anymore. So I think what you're starting to see here with this storm is it's having some of that pulsating effect, and we're having a little bit of diurnal heating as well. I do take requests if you would like me to be I just happened to glance over at the other monitor, and I have to laugh there. I try to calm people down, I guess. I'm no Morgan Freeman, but I do get paid $150 for a page of reading. So I do that on the side if anybody wants to hire me. Not per book page, but it goes by word count, about 350 words. So what we're looking here at Mount Vernon, I want to say you're in the clear Mount Vernon, but it is definitely to the south of Mount Vernon, and depending on how the addressing goes down there, you're pretty much going to be out of it here on the next scan, so that's a good thing here. And Danville, you're still kind of under the gun. Ooh, I can't see the radar. Good voice narrator, but apparently I don't know how to operate a computer. There we go. Sorry about that. My bad. Should have looked at the other monitor more often. But that's what happens when the tornado warning is, we're an hour and 15 minutes and we're still in the same county. So Knox County, I guess you haven't had many tornado warnings here. this year, but you're definitely getting your money's worth tonight. We have a new warning now, but that's for flash flooding, and we'll have to talk a little bit about some of the flash flooding as well. So flash flooding is becoming a little bit of a concern in some of the areas, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Let me go back out here and flip on flash flood warnings. I'm going to talk about that quickly. So those of you in Mount Vernon, again, still need to be in that tornado safe shelter. Danville, you need to be in that tornado safe shelter. Martinsburg, depending on where you're at, you still need to be in that tornado safe shelter as well. It's just sitting there. Again, it just keeps sitting there and spinning. And I shouldn't say spinning, I should say rotating. Right now, the storm spotter said they had seen a confirmed tornado. Very curious how they saw it at 9:25, but that's what they're saying. So they're saying a weather spotter reported an actual tornado located near Gambier. So I would say to the south of Gambier here, right near 229. That's been about 10 minutes ago, and the radar scans look a little bit better than it did 10 minutes ago. So again, albeit not 100% sure if it's making it to the ground completely. Even the first one, I saw some pictures come in on that one. Even on the first one, not sure if that one was on the ground 100% or not. If it was very weak. Here's the reflectivity kind of looking here. Got some intense rain still going on with that as well. So if this continues, and again, we got to think about this one. I got another hour, not another hour. I got another 40 minutes on this warning. So the 10:15 is what they got this one on. So again, this tornado warning expires at 10:15. So it's 9:30. It's going to go on 9:35. It's 9:34. I got another hour, or not another hour, another 45 minutes or so on this warning. 40 minutes, I should say. So long time here on this warning yet because it's moving so slowly. And again, taking more of that northerly turn. I'm going to quickly zoom out and show you the rest of the state and the rest of our coverage area. We got some flash flood warnings across the area here for some of those areas over here in Logan County and Union County. So this one over here is Logan County and Union County here just north of Delaware. You are seeing a little bit of flash flood warning going on here. With this heavy, intense rain that did produce a tornado warning, you're seeing a lot of flash flooding here. And over here with our friends in Indiana, that's in our coverage area for Wayne and Fayette County. Here's Wayne County in Indiana and Fayette County. Earlier, they had a lot of heavy rain, and they're still dealing with some flash flooding here that's going on. 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen over here in Richmond County, and flash flooding here too as well, kind of coming up here to Logan County. Our friends over here in Logan County have received a lot of rain in portions of Union County. They have seen, I believe, right now, they say that between 2.5 to 4.5 inches of rain have fallen over here for our friends in Logan County and portions of Union County. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain. So, need to make sure, again, with that, too, don't drive in flooded waters. Turn around, don't drown. A lot of people are doing that. Turn around, don't drown. I want to make sure I quickly covered that as well because I don't want to say it's as important as a tornado warning, but, again, a lot of people, especially at night, if you want to try to chance it and you drive through water like that, then somebody's going to come and rescue you. Then you're putting their lives in jeopardy. So let's not do that. All right, so let me go ahead and let me zoom out here real quick, and let's flip over here to another radar site that's a little bit closer that I haven't been using. I don't know if I want to use that one. It's a little bit, I'm looking at Terminal Doppler here out of Columbus, and yeah, you're right, Nick. It is junk until about, tilt 2, you're about right. So kind of looking here, still getting a lot of purple haze, as I call it. I don't know if I should say that or not, but purple haze on radar. Let's go ahead and click back here. I don't like that. I don't like that view at all. I'd rather terminals. Some reason terminals really not showing what we should see here tonight. But all right, zooming back in here again, kind of looking here just a little bit here. This is a actual pixel of this color. Zooming here, crossing right over 229. So we've moved another a couple miles on this as it continues to move here. If this is pretty much past your area, this first round here is past your area, you're pretty much done. Lima, you're pretty much done for the night. Go to sleep. You might see a couple pop-up showers tonight, but you're done for the severe threat tonight. Go to bed. The Storm Prediction Center, I'll go ahead and do that real quick while we got a little bit of extra time because it's moving at 15 miles an hour. If I flip on here, the Storm Prediction Center outlook, they updated that outlook. Here's the slight risk category in darker green. So you could kind of see they've updated it right along the storm path here on the latest update. So Lima, you're in the general risk of thunderstorms the rest of the evening. Go to bed. So as this line crosses, you're pretty much done for the evening. Out ahead of this, I can't say that completely, especially if you're maybe in the Mid Ohio Valley. Got to be kind of prepared tonight, I should say, as we go into the overnight hours with possibly some particular. Man, I hate to say heavy winds because it's not really blowing that hard, but some possibilities of some stronger wind gusts and maybe some brief spin-up tornadoes. So as you go to bed tonight, if you're out ahead of this, you need to make sure that you have a way to receive warnings. If it's past you, good night. You can go to bed and rest easy here for the night. So looking here, kind of looking, well, I got a little bit of a, I want to say a pause, but let's look at day 3. Kind of still clearing out here, even in day 4 through 7. Not seeing anything in the next 3 days as far as severe thunderstorm risks go, but you're pretty much good to go on that one. All right, let's go ahead and zoom back in here to our lovely polygon and get back to action here. All right, so we still got this, and let's flip back over here to our reflectivity, kind of see what's going on here. Some heavy rain, some light hail. Also, correlation coefficient or our debris ball tracker. I'm looking at another screen, still looks clean, which is good. Kind of looking here at our base velocity, still see some generalized rotation here. Getting ready to cross over towards Route 62. It definitely is taking a northerly turn now, so it is moving east-northeast right now at 20 miles an hour. If it holds together at this, it's going to clip portions here of, I would say, the southern Danville area, kind of in this general area. It's moving that direction at this particular moment. It was moving more on an easterly track. It's now taking more of a northeasterly track right now. So we're kind of just, I don't want to say in a holding pattern, but that's kind of where we're at. This warning goes until 10:15. If you're just joining us here, let's look at our storm relative velocity. This looks a little bit easier for us to see where that potentialized rotation is right down here. You kind of see that right here again. Getting ready to come up to State Route 62. This goes until 10:15, and radar indicated rotation now once again. So they move this back to radar indicated instead of confirmed. So they keep going back and forth on this. This one had a confirmed tag. So kind of the history of this storm, if you're joining us now. Yeah, I don't know where Sycamore Road is in Knox County. I'm sorry. Not 100% sure where that is, but it's just like asking you where Bird's Eye Avenue is in Fremont. Sorry, had to say that, but not sure. If you're in the Polygon, Knox County, you need to respect the Polygon and get in your shelter. That's the most important thing on that. So kind of looking here at this as we continue to track this, kind of see this a lot easier on storm relative velocity of where that rotation is. Again, when this first started, this was over Centerburg, and we had a confirmed tornado by the Emergency Management Agency. Then as it moved on, we had no warning, or not, no confirmed warning. It was just a regular tornado warning, radar indicated. They actually had to issue a brand new tornado warning because it was moving so slow. So we have another tornado warning here, and then they issued yet another tornado warning to move it to, upgraded it to confirmed by a weather spotter, and now they have moved it back to just radar indicated rotation. So we've had quite a history on this, and guess what? We're still in the same county. So our friends in Knox County here are getting their money's worth tonight. And Mount Vernon, I promise you, you're almost out of this. Hang with me. Don't go away. We still got another half hour on this, but I guarantee you here, Mount Vernon, in the next update, you're going to be out of it. When they update it again, that's probably coming. So kind of looking here, a little bit more intense on that scan that just came in. So kind of seeing it's tightening up the couplet. And when I say this, the couplet is tightening up just a little bit. You're starting to see some more. Let me even draw it for you. You're starting to see this kind of rotate more like this. So this is starting to form a little bit more of a couplet. Well, now the latest scan just came in. So 2 scans, bang, bang, and now it's dead. So, all right. It continues to what I would say at this point in the evening pulsate. And we're seeing here, we got another, what do we got here? A flash flooding for Union County has just been issued. But we're continuing to see this type of storms happen here. It pulsates, comes back up, comes back down. We're getting just enough shear in the atmosphere as well. And we have to deal with diurnal heating, and we have to deal with the radiation effect, which means today got really hot today. So things were heating up. All of your shingles and ground and all that heats up and heats up and heats up and retains the heat, and then at night it has to release the heat when the sun goes down, and guess what? Heat rises, and then it fuels some of these storms as well. So that's kind of generalized in Ohio why we see some of these storms get a little bit more intense towards sunset, because the sun's setting and some of that heat, and it just depends on the day. The heat is continuing to build too in the upper atmosphere. So a little bit of history, a little bit of science there. All right, so let's just take a look here. What's going on? Still got that tornado warning. Knox County, I'm still with you. Still with you here. And man, you can kind of see what it's doing. In last scan, it was a little bit of a tighter of a couplet, as we call it. Now this one's kind of weakened out, and again, it just continues to kind of do this pulsate. Looking at a few of your comments, Ohio News and Weather, no need to be concerned in. I don't know where you live, so I can't say that 100%. You have to make your own informed decisions on the information that I give you. You got to understand here from my point of view, in a liability issue, we're never going to tell you exactly unless we're 100% confident, like Lima, I told to go to bed because I'm 100% confident. But if there's any concern or any type of precipitation that's even close, we're going to tell you, to stay basically in the tornado safe space or what have you. Like Mount Vernon, probably Mount Vernon. I'm going to say this like this. Probably Mount Vernon's okay to come out of their tornado self-shelter, but they're still in the polygon, so they need to respect it. Okay, in my opinion, they probably could. But again, I'm not saying that. I have to go based on what the National Weather Service is telling you. And respect that polygon, because you just never know. So just more of a liability aspect. Got to make good informed decisions with it. It's kind of like when snow happens. You got to make the judge of whether you can drive a car or not. If you can drive in snow, great. If not, that's your call, right? I don't even know. I don't even want to get on this right now, but since it's just kind of sitting here, I can only imagine some of you are sitting in your tornado safe shelter listening to this, and you're kind of saying, yep, it's still in the same spot, so let's just have a fireside chat. But if you look at snow levels in Ohio, we issue level 1, 2, and 3. I don't even know why we do it, because I think everybody's smart enough to make their own decisions. But I know it kind of gives you a gauge on what's going on, but it's a very messy and confusing system with that. If you don't feel safe, don't drive. It's, in snow. It's pretty simple. But sheriffs have different opinions on what it should be and how. So it's very confusing in Ohio. But anyway, so kind of sitting here, just kind of having our fireside chat, as I call it. Still moving here towards the north. So if it holds together and we get to sit here a little bit longer, it's going to hit into Holmes County and Coshocton County, and then we can kind of sit there and look at it together as well. So kind of recapping here, if you're just joining us, had a few tornado warnings here earlier. We had a little bit for Delaware County. This line here continuing to go through Delaware County has since been, the warning has been allowed to expire over there in that area. But we're sitting here, still sitting here in Mount Vernon. Been a long time, 8:29. was when the first issued warning was there for our friends over here in Mount Vernon, in Knox County, I should say. So we're still going on here. This warning still goes until 10:15. The latest update here, let's go ahead and look at that. At 9:35, we still have a tornado warning with radar indicated at rotation located over Gambier or Mount Vernon, moving northeast. Ooh, they did tag that in there now, at 15 miles an hour. So we're moving at 15 miles an hour now. So if it continues on, and again, you got to remember tonight, this line is still under the slight risk category. So I'll put it to you this way. I know a lot of people are asking questions about, like, my town. I don't know where your town is, so I have to kind of put it to you that way. But if I turn on the categorical outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center, let's just do it that way. So looking at this, if you're in the dark green area, you still have a slight risk for severe storms tonight. So what I would tell you, even if you're over here towards Cleveland, Canton, Akron, Youngstown, I should say, Parkersburg, Wheeling, all those areas, you need to make sure that you have a way to receive warnings if you go to bed. You still have the potential of a possible severe storm tonight or tornado warning. It's possible. The atmosphere conditions are right. Any one of these, and if I turn this back over to our regular velocity or reflectivity view, any one of these storms today could have enough shear to get spinning. So it's possible. So again, I'll put it to you kind of like that. And again, you'll have to figure out where your county is on a map, all right, and everything. There's too many people that kind of ask my town, and I know you mean well, but you got to see it kind of a little bit from our side as well. But that's kind of what we're looking at here. And let's go ahead and look here. Let me zoom in here. So some of you asked, actually, a legitimate question here. You're kind of looking at the purple thing, and I believe my colleague answered this. It's called range folding or ducting in radar. This is undetermined. So, and I've been showing you a lot of the reflectivity here tonight of the winds. And anytime you see this purple, that means it's undetermined. If you see a green area, that means that's wind moving towards the radar site. Red means it's moving away from the radar site. Or purple means it's undecided. It doesn't understand which way it's going. So it's junk data that has to be returned. Go ahead and flip back over here to reflectivity here, showing you here. Got a little bit of small hail icon. I kind of highlight that. They're saying hail probability of 10%. Earlier, it was a lot greater than that. We're not seeing as heavy or as intense rain bands that's being returned with this. You kind of see as I zoom in real close, some of these really darker purple areas here on reflectivity. Now, in this one, we're looking at how intense the precipitation is. This one would be indicative of probably some smaller hail. So that small green triangle is a hail indicator. The bigger the triangle, the worse the hail is. That's radar indicated. So let's go ahead and flip back over to our base velocity, and we're still seeing that rotation just now coming into that area that I was talking about, coming up to State Route 36 and State Route 62. So coming up to the crossing there. All right, Danville, you're getting in on this here in just a few minutes. Depending on where you're at in Gambier, hey, that's again, some of these addresses that are out here, I don't really know what the zip codes are, but you could have a Gambier address. I hope I'm saying that right. I've been saying it like that. I didn't know I'd be on for an hour and 40 talking about one county, but I have to kind of joke about that a little bit. But you could have that type of address. Some of these people may have Martinsburg. I have no idea. So kind of got to make that decision on your own. But if you're in the polygon, respect the polygon. And we're waiting now. So it's 9:52. We're waiting here on the latest update. Kind of looking here. Let's go ahead and look at our storm relative velocity. So we're taking out the motion of the storm. This gives us a little bit better indication of what we're trying to find. So I just showed you what was called regular velocity, which shows us winds moving towards the radar site and winds moving away from the radar site. So when we take out this motion of the storm, that shows us kind of the true speed and rotation. That's what we're looking at here. All right, so kind of looking at this. Again, this is not necessarily a very tight couplet, but we look for things like this and this right here. Okay, this is gate-to-gate shear. Red's moving away from the radar site. This one's moving towards the radar site. You can kind of see here a little bit too. You got a lot of that going on. So this is broad rotation, but we start to look and we would start to see things kind of move in a couplet. So all this turns red, if you will, and here's green. We start to make this couplet, and that's the type of things that we're looking for. I have a sister. I'm not sure. Not sure which campus you work for. Kenyon. Oh, Kenyon. Okay, I was going to say I work at a college too, but my sister goes to Mount Vernon. So I was just wondering about that. But still, this is the generalized area rotation here. Again, getting ready to cross over State Route 36, State Route 62. It was moving more easterly. Now it's got a track here at 245. Coming from 245 degrees, so kind of looking at this, it is moving in this generalized direction, kind of what you're seeing here, moving this direction. Kind of what I was saying earlier, it will clip probably south here of Danville. That's the area I keep drawing, but it's moving so slow. We still got another 20 minutes here on the warning. I'm kind of waiting, and I'm rooting for you guys in Mount Vernon. Okay, I'm hoping they drop you out of this like soon because you poor people in Mount Vernon have been sitting there since 8/29 when the first warning was issued. So I'm hoping they drop you out so I can say go to bed. So a lot of colleges, and one of the things, too, you got to remember, too, since I work at a college, and that's just one of my areas of responsibility is dealing with alerting the students. Man, they updated it, and you're still in it. I'm sorry, Mount Vernon. Well, it depends on where you're at. No, you're still in it. You're still in it. I'm so sorry, Mount Vernon. Oh, man. They just trimmed it back, but Mount Vernon, you didn't totally get clipped out of it. They kept that left. They trimmed it just a tad bit. I'm so sorry, Mount Vernon. Oh, man. So if you're in portions of Mount Vernon over here, just on the outskirts, you're still under it. So I can't say completely that Mount Vernon's out of it. So if you're just in the outskirts here, I'm sorry. You're still under the tornado warning. So I have to still say Mount Vernon's in it. So sorry about that. And odds are they could be looking at some generalized rotation over here. That's probably why they're doing it. But I'm so sorry, Mount Vernon. I feel bad for you guys. I'm sorry. But what I was telling you there was that, so being as part of a campus-ready situation, by law, we have to have an alert notification system. We don't have to send out weather alerts, but many campuses, it's part of the service anyway that we buy, and they automatically just send out weather alerts. So they're probably getting them that way. And they're also, their RAs, resident assistants, usually all are trained in this and sort of thing and know the precautions. So I would say that a lot of campuses, I can't speak for all of them, but many campuses are prepared, especially if it's a smaller private school. I can't speak for the state schools. So there's a flash flood warning for Delaware County until 1 a.m. So if you're in Delaware County, hopefully you don't float away. But a lot of rain's coming through right now with these storms. So I'll zoom back out here quick. Delaware County, you just got in on a flash flood warning until 1 a.m. And let's look at this for just a second. They're showing this at 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain fell there for Delaware County, radar indicated wise. Let me see something here. I don't know if I could show that to you or not. Let me take a look here. I'm not going to show you that. That'll just confuse you. Let's see. Turn that on. See how confusing that looks. Let's see. Turn this off. So, I just showing you here. This is totally different. So don't. Mount Vernon is over. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize too. I was in the middle of watching a very, very good movie on Hulu. And this, kind of looking at this storm, and I knew it was going to happen. So anyway, kind of looking here at pro mode. So kind of see here, this is radar projected indications of how much rain has fell. So they're saying 1.2 inches here in portions of this new flash flood warning that came out. So kind of looking back here for our friends over in Delaware County. Let's go over here to Union County. They got in on a little bit of this, about an inch or so, and even over here, it's been a lot of rain, and some of it's receded. Now, this is over the past hour, so if I turn this, let me go ahead and turn this on a 6-hour stint real quick. Still kind of see, yeah, here we go. I'll turn this on the Bass. I'll even turn it on. I'll just turn it on 24 hours. So a lot of flood going on in certain areas here. So you kind of see in on that 1.3. Really over here, 4.5 inches, they're saying, based on radar, fell there, over for our friends in Logan County. So a lot of rain. Same thing over here in portions of our friends over here in Wayne County in Indiana, almost 2 inches there, based on radar predictions. So it's a lot of rain. It's a lot of rain. All right, let's turn off that again, and let's go back to our reflectivity here, storm relative velocity. Let's go back to reflectivity here for our our tornado warned storm going on here. All right, so and flip back over here. We still got this tornado warning. It's 10 o'clock, coming up to the 10 o'clock hour. You're watching Ohio News and Weather. Some other things that you can do while we're trying to pass the time here, riding out the storm with you. Just kind of give you a little bit of some updates here. We are, we're getting some pretty sad stories coming out of the Detroit area with the tornadoes up there earlier. So I'm sure you'll read about that. So definitely starting to see some stuff that happened up there, but not related to this. We're seeing you can track some of these storms with us. You can download our app, Ohio News and Weather. You can find it in the App Store, the Play Store. You can track and you can do future radar with us. You can get warnings based on that as well. You can do several locations based on where you're at. It also, depending on how you have it set up, but you can go into the settings, the little gear icon, set a lot of things up, get warned on lightning approaching the area, rain approaching the area, that sort of thing. So download that from the App Store or the Play Store, and you can track radar right with us. I use it on my phone. It is one of the quicker ways that I receive severe thunderstorm or tornado warning alerts as well. So we pay a lot of money for that, and it's all because of you guys. So it's all based on viewers and viewership. Remember that we're part of Bell Park Weather Network, as you obviously see on the screen. We are a nonprofit organization, and we all do this voluntarily out of the kindness of our hearts. So nobody's paid here. We believe in weathering through together. We all have a mission and a motto here with our team of forecasters and meteorologists on staff and credentialed meteorologists on staff. We all have a motto of weathering through together with you. So that's why we're still here. Some people may have thrown their hat, went to bed, but we're still riding this out with you. Anytime there's a tornado warning, we do our darnest, I don't know if that's a word, I was going to say another word, our dangest, I don't know, you can put it together, to try to be on live with you during tornado warnings. We try to make every effort possible to make sure somebody's live with you. Tonight was my night. I was in rotation, so you'll see different forecasters and things that are in, and tonight was my rotation. So we kind of take turns and some other things. I don't know about a second round, Knox County. You're going to have some other rain come through, yeah. I'm hoping it quiets down for you. Definitely some more rain, and you got to remember some of these areas over here did have that tornado warning. But I'm going to say, but the good thing is your atmosphere is being worked over pretty good right now. So hopefully it sucks all the energy out, and you just have some rain and everything will be quiet. But definitely should have a way to receive alerts here. So, again, if you and I don't like to do this. We don't like to promote this too often, but hey, you have a way to donate to us. Feel free to check out the Facebook page and check out our social media pages, or you can go to our website, OhioNewsAndWeather.com. You can donate to help keep everything that we do going. So we do incur some expenses, obviously. The app, I can tell you, we pay a lot of money for that app, but it's for you guys, and it's made possible because of viewers like you. So kind of like almost a PBS station, but viewers like you. So if you can donate, feel free to donate. We would be glad to take that and put the money to good use. This is what we do. This is, again, this is our passion. Probably many of us could make money on it, but we don't want to. That's not what we want to do. But I'm still here with you, Knox County. I expect something. I don't know. I expect something. We'll go to Chipotle there in Mount Vernon. I don't know. I expect something for free out of Mount Vernon. Just kidding. But we're hanging with you here right now, and I could tell you here. So let's take a look at this. Again, kind of having one of our little fireside chats. Let's go ahead and look at our base velocity. Well, maybe not. There we go. And kind of looking here, it's died down quite a bit, which again I'll say is good to a point. And let's flip it over to regular velocity. You can see that rotation has died down quite a bit. Seeing a little bit of area, new rotation kind of down here, but very broad. And you kind of see this has moved more of in a linear area, in linear fashion. So you're not having that nice curved area that you did in the past. So this is more linear. So that's a good thing for you. So let's hope in 10 minutes they allow this thing to expire. That way everybody can go back to their night, go back to bed. I don't know, go get a late night drink, whatever. Get some hot cocoa. I guess it's too hot for hot cocoa. This is what happens when you're on for a while and you get loopy. And the same storm sits in the same spot over and over and over again. But this is kind of what we got going on. We're still just generalized rotation right now. Not a lot to go on. Not a lot to see. But again, make sure that you get in that tornado safe shelter. Waiting for the latest update. There it is. Didn't change very much. Didn't change hardly at all. I have to kind of admit, if you live in Danville, I've never been there. I've been to a lot of cities, but not Danville. So I'm going to have to go through Danville. I've been through Danville, Indiana, but not there. Been through Mount Vernon quite a bit. Obviously visited there quite a bit. Utica, been there. So kind of looking at this, and I know it's funny. You know, I don't want to say funny, but we got a tornado warning, and I'm talking about driving to a town. But right now, not seeing anything overly concerning. We are kind of right now just waiting to see if this expires. We, again, have had a history with this storm since 8/29 when the first warning was issued here for Knox County. You might get the record, I'm not sure, being under a tornado warning in Mount Vernon especially. But it was over Centerburg where we first saw we had a report that came in of a tornado by the Knox County Emergency Management Agency. It was confirmed. And there are some pictures of that out there now on social media that I saw just a few minutes ago. And so we saw that, and then it turned into just a regular tornado warning where it was not confirmed. They lost visual of it. They issued another tornado warning to extend it out to the furthest point east here in the county. And then they issued another tornado warning that saying it was confirmed again. And then they issued another tornado warning once again here, kind of all the same one, but the updates unconfirmed. So we've had a plethora of warnings here, just kind of and updates, I should say, warnings and updates that's kind of been here with us, and just kind of chugging along, you know. And right now, again, still very, very broad now rotation. So I'm going to bet to say that this, I don't know if they're waiting a couple more scans to see if they can clear it or not. And again, we kind of seen with this slow moving storm moving, man, they're saying 15 miles an hour. I'm not sure. I think I can get a horse and buggy to go a little faster than this. But they're saying 15, and I bet it's I think it's 15. We'll say even 10 miles an hour. This thing has moved so slowly over the area that it has had enough time to sit there and continually spin and regenerate just a little bit. They're saying a tornado on the ground. That was confirmed a few minutes ago, but not any more. The National Weather Service has redacted that. They still now are saying radar indicated. So the latest information is radar indicated. It was over Gambier. They were saying a few minutes ago. It's out of Gambier anyway. But they were saying a few minutes ago they had it confirmed for a while, but the latest update, they pulled it back. Amish will outrun the storm. Wow, you're probably right. I'm not even going to lie on that one. So, still in that weakening trend. I know I could see one in Danville. You're so close to Millersburg. I've gone there quite a bit. So, yeah, a group of turtles. I have to agree with you. I used to be a general manager of a little company called the All-Star Circuit of Champions. So I used to be a general manager of sprint car racing, and we raced at Millersburg all the time. Loved that track. I loved Hilltop Speedway. Great speedway. And down-to-earth people, I will say that. More down-to-earth than where I'm from. So, kind of looking here, just kind of sitting there, just kind of generalized rotation. A little bit of area down here, but kind of if we're looking at any area of potential rotation, we're looking right here. That's kind of where that latest track has been. So, you got some stuff down here as well, but that's just generalized, so I'm kind of counting that one out. But continually, as I've continued to watch this storm, this is the area that had some continual rotation there with it. Hey, I don't know about, there was an announcer at Hilltop Speedway. I love that guy. I think his name was Andy. I love that guy. Don't know if he's still there. Yep, we're still here, and the radar is just kind of hanging. And it looks like, yeah, in the latest update, I think they just cleared it. So let me see something here. I believe we just got it all clear. Let me double check. I don't want to mislead you. It doesn't really matter. We got 5 minutes to go. I believe we are now, and I got to double check here and make sure. I believe we are in the all clear. Give me 1 second to confirm that. Yeah, the radar, I think, blew up. I'm not sure. Let me flip over to Pittsburgh. Not sure what's going on there. Yeah, what's up with that? There it goes. It came back. Boy, oh boy, I show one side it's not confirmed and the other one it's not expired, so that's interesting. All right, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Yay! Should drop off your screen here just momentarily. And there it goes. Yay! It's over. Well, I don't know. I want to say it's over, but hey, there's a little bit of some inflow going on here. Not to scare you, but hey, a little bit of inflow notch going on. Look at that. Fueling a little bit. Maybe we'll see another one. So, ooh, look at that. A little bit of a donut hole. No, I'm just kidding. That is there, but I think you're okay on that one. It's close. I don't know. That's... You look at something else. Yeah, I don't know. You might see another one based on things we saw earlier. Yeah. Well, we'll just pretend we didn't see that. Oh no. Okay. I sorry. I hit the move back button. I was going to say, oh no, but yeah, I think we're good to go on that. All right. So let's go ahead and kind of man, I still see that donut hole. Sorry to keep doing that to you. Probably scaring you guys half to death. For some reason, telestration didn't turn off. Clear and move. All right, here we go. So, hey, we're tornado warning free, so I'm going to zoom back out. And, yeah, I was scaring myself there for a minute. But we are tornado warning free. It's been a pleasure to serve you over the past since 8/29 in one county. Oh no. Okay, my phone literally just went off. Okay, so there's a flash flood warning for Knox and Morrow County. So you guys have now joined the flash flood club. So if you're still in some of those areas, there's the flash flood warning now for you guys over in Knox County. But if you're still hearing sirens, probably you're going to hear them for another couple minutes because most of those systems are programmed to go off continually until the end of the warning, which originally was 10:15, but they allowed it to expire it early. So sometimes those sirens do not update. But at this point, the National Weather Service has cleared it and given the all clear from that tornado warning. Now, I have to say, and you're welcome, and you're very welcome there for all everything. Hopefully you've enjoyed our time together. Hopefully it wasn't a waste, as they call it. Hopefully you've made the most of it. Looking here, I'm going to flip back on one thing to kind of give you kind of a generalized summary. The Storm Prediction Center, let me go ahead and turn off radar real quick. Storm Prediction Center has done this for us. So kind of looking here at the Storm Prediction Center, if you're anywhere in the green, you're under a slight risk of severe weather tonight. Excuse me, you're under a marginal risk of severe weather tonight. So nothing to be overly concerned with. All right, so I don't want you to be overly concerned. You're in that marginal risk area, but just one of those things with some of these storms, just make sure you have a way to receive warnings and go to bed. All right, if you're in this general risk of thunderstorms down here or out here, Lima, Sandusky County, where I'm at, Erie County, Sandusky, you're good. This line has passed you. Go to bed. All right. Once this main line gets past everybody, you're pretty much good to go as far as severe weather. But if you're out ahead of this, again, I want to make sure that you continue to make sure you have a way to receive warnings as you go through the overnight hours. So anywhere along this line, out ahead of this, you do have it could tap into some potential energy and some energy out ahead of this, and you could get a brief spin up tonight. So not issuing the all clear for people that are out ahead of this line. Anywhere in the darker green area under the marginal risk, just make sure you have a way to receive warnings and go night-night. So, all right, with that being, I know there's some other stuff here, but with that being said, I hope most of you have a great evening. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you've been with me pretty much the whole time, thank you. Hopefully your time was enjoyable with us here together. So we're trying to make it out there, and I try to make it as interesting as I can. So hopefully we did that. Andy Dice. Andy Dice. I love that. Andy Dice, Owen Fritz from the All-Star Circuit of Champions. You're a great dude. Way back in the day with Guy Webb. You're a great guy. So that's who I am. I was the general manager, and I also worked for DC Bash, who worked in radio. I was the engineer for him way back when. So I hope your time was enjoyable with me this evening. Make sure that you continue to follow our pages. We'll be live if we need to for tornado warnings. I've been assigned today and into tomorrow morning, so I would be the one back on with you as we head into the overnight hours, and I don't have any intentions of skipping that, so we'll be with you as we need to in the overnight hours. Again, I just don't think it's going to be as intense here. Again, we could see just a brief warning or two potentially, and I give that about a 25% chance if I had to guess on that. So it's very, very low, but I'll be here with you into the overnight hours if there needs to be anything else that happens. Main thing here is flash flooding for some of these areas. Make sure you turn around and don't drown. It's important for us. We thank you for everything that you've done. I try to make this as much as we can, as interesting as we can. I challenge you to sit and talk for 2.5 hours about the same storm over the same area. So I tried to make it as appealing as we could. So, good evening to all of you. I hope you have a great evening. Kind of signing off here for now. Download our app from the Play Store, Google App Store, Google Play Store, I should say, or the Apple App Store. Ohio News and Weather. Check us out on the website as well. So have a great evening. Remember, turn around, don't drown. We'll be back tonight live if needed as we head into